When Azzi Fudd was introduced as the Dallas Wings' #1 overall pick, a reporter at the inaugural press conference asked a question about her and Paige Bueckers' relationship and how that might impact their roles with the Wings. At that instant, a PR executive had stepped in and stopped that line of questioning. No questions about personal relationships were to be allowed. Many had fumed at the double standards, as male athletes are asked about it from time to time. Now, Paige Bueckers addressed it herself, and her response was calm, clear, and firm.
Quite frankly, I believe me and Azzi's personal relationship is nobody's business but our own, and what we choose to share is completely up to us.
That statement alone set the boundary. No hostility, no drama, just clarity. For Paige, it wasn't about avoiding the question. It was about control. Control over what parts of her life are public and what parts stay private. And then she took it a step further, because beyond the headlines, beyond the speculation, there's still basketball to be played. And that's where Paige made her strongest point.
Me and Azzi have always been the most professional. We've always conducted ourselves as such, and we've never let anything that happens off the court carry onto the court. That's what we continue to do. Me and Azzi are not new to this.
That line matters, because this isn't a new partnership. This isn't two players trying to figure each other out on the fly. Paige Bueckers and Azzi Fudd have already spent 4 years together at UConn, one of the most demanding, high-pressure environments in college basketball. They've shared the court, the spotlight, and the expectations that come with playing at an elite program. They've gone through injuries, comebacks, tough losses, and big wins. And through it all, they've built chemistry, not just as teammates, but as professionals. So when Paige says they're not new to this, it's not just a statement, it's a reminder that whatever their relationship may or may not be off the court, it has never interfered with what happens on it. If anything, their familiarity could be an advantage. They already know how each other moves. They understand timing, spacing, and decision-making. That kind of connection doesn't need to be built. It's already there. And for a team like the Dallas Wings, that's valuable, because while the headlines focused on the question, the real story is much simpler. Can these two help the team win? And based on everything we've seen so far, the answer looks promising. Bueckers also reminded the media that Fudd did not get picked at #1 just because they are in a relationship. The latter earned her place in the 2026 WNBA draft purely on the merit of having her best season in college. Still, the moment raises an important point about media boundaries in sports. Where do we draw the line between public interest and personal privacy? Should athletes be expected to answer questions about their relationships just because they're in the spotlight? Or do they deserve the same level of control that Paige is clearly asking for? There's no easy answer, but Paige Bueckers made her stance very clear. She's here to play basketball, and so is her girlfriend. And whatever else exists beyond that, that's their choice to share, not anyone else's to demand. As the Wings move forward, the focus will eventually shift back to the court, where it belongs, but this moment, it served as a reminder. Even in a league growing as fast as the WNBA, players are still defining the boundaries of their own narratives, and Paige Bueckers just set hers, and that of Azzi Fudd's.